If you're tired of getting backshotted
Brother,
and having this happen to you,
fight back, nigga.
AIM Ultra got you covered. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the different counters you could use to defend against your opponent. Okay, so to start off for context, I'm using standard controls on the Xbox controller. My settings are looking like this right here. Make sure that you got that guard assist off because it interferes with your timing. Let's get into what's your skill points and key. Your key is the 5 yellow bars underneath your health. And then you got the skill points on the left below the character. Then you're going to see that meter. That meter increases throughout the fight. Be aware that you have a maximum of 6 skill points. Alright, so there's 5 different counters you can do. So you got perception counter, super perception counter, high speed evasion, super counter, and then Z counter. So let's just start with the high speed evasion. This is the most common, pretty much defense move you could do. So the moment a hit lands, you just teleport behind him. Instant transmission. You gotta time shit properly because characters be moving too fast. Alright, so you could just practice this in the training. So once you mastered that, you be Gucci. Usually it's like a back and forth between your opponent if they know what they're doing. Make sure to be aware of your key because it does take away like a small smidge, not a full bar. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the perception. Perception counter is used against rush attacks, like so. Basically, you just hold the counter and it flings your opponent back. Sometimes they come right back at you. So you just gotta be aware of that and probably use your high speed evasion that we went over just now. Okay, moving on towards the super perception counter. It's similar to the previous. All you gotta do is hold to activate it. But this time, this is for like when your opponent uses like a heavy attack. Like a hold down on X. And then you just make sure you anticipate that. Hold down the button. And that's how the animation is gonna look. Now we're at super counters. So now for super counters, you're gonna want to do that right there. Left analog stick up and X at the same time during like a fury of attacks. Like they could keep going on with their combo, but this is how you stop that. Make sure you time everything though. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I be mashing the buttons and shit don't be working, so expect that. Even in the footage, like I was struggling somewhat. But I mean, eventually, if you keep training, you get the hang of it. Like with anything. Alright, so now moving on to the Z counter. So for the Z counter, you're basically countering the counter that they do. You'll see in a second. What you gotta do is press R1 at the right time, or RB, whatever controller you got. Yep, like so. So it takes a bit of practice to get the timing down, but once you got it, you'll be good. It took me a minute to get used to this for sure, the timing. It was so annoying getting juggled, bro. I'm like, yo, how's this happening, bro? Out here button mashing. And no response because of my timing. So just pay attention to that. Alright, so we're gonna move on to the other way you could do a Z counter. So this is like when you knock your opponent back to follow up like a counter attack. Hold on, let me show you. Alright, you see how he does that? He counters you. Basically, the other way you could use the Z counter is to counter that counter, which is pretty dope. But obviously, your timing gotta be spot on. So moving on, we're going to go to the revenge counter, which is new to this game. Using a revenge counter is pretty easy. You just click the right analog stick and you'll go ahead and counter. Because it's so easy to counter, it does cost 2 skill points, so be aware of that. Make sure you time when you use it in the fight. Because if you use it at the wrong time or you don't have it when you need it, yeah, it's clipped. You'll be cooked. Also, if I didn't mention that, like, perception counter also uses like 2, I think it uses 2 skill points as well. Alright, so now I'm going to go over how to counter a revenge counter that your opponent does towards you. All you gotta do is hold B right before they actually land that attack. And that's how the animation looks. Alright, so now I got bonus for y'all. This is how you do the throw counters. Throw counters is pretty easy. You just RB or R1. The moment you see them looking like they're about to throw at you. So once you get used to looking at that animation, easy to dodge, not gonna lie. You just gotta anticipate stuff. They do be moving quick, so. Last but not least, I wanna go through this Sonic Sway. This is my favorite counter to do. It does take time to master the timing and the animation and know when to actually use it, but you get that, you're gonna look like a pro. Trust. But yeah, so that's all I got for y'all today. If y'all enjoyed the video and it helped y'all, please leave a like, subscribe, watch this video. Peace out.